Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to field strip this for cleaning, and then we're going to go full Monty, and then later we'll do a YouTube on the bolt disassembly and the fire control group disassembly. Okay, why don't we start with the field stripping? First, remove the magazine, cock the handle, and I prefer to remove the cocking handle first. It's the new type of cocking handle where you push this inward and then turn forward, and then you should be able to pull that out. You'll notice there's that little clip at the end, and this is for removal, but when you want to lock it in place, you turn this back. You can see that pin rising, and then you can pull this out. Make sure you pull it out, and that should prevent this from flying out. Okay, next, fold the buttstock, and there's a button inside. Push that to separate the upper from the lower, and that should hinge open like this, and you should be able to, the bolt and the carrier should be able to slide right out. Okay, the next thing you do is remove the gas system. The whole gas system comes apart, including the gas tube, and it's very simple. There is a little chrome button on the lower right side of the gas regulator. Press that in, and you should be able to turn the gas regulator, and that should slide out. That's your gas regulator. And turn it upside down, and your gas piston should also come out. Now press the button again one more time and turn the piston, no, turn the gas tube, and it should pop. The whole gas tube comes out like that. Okay. So basically, this is where you've come to your field stripping. This is as far as you go. You should be able to reach your fire control group from here, and your barrel and the bore. Okay. So the next step, going further beyond field stripping, is separating the lower from the upper, and you do that by unscrewing these two hinge pins. Hinge screws, and what you need is two straight edge screwdriver. What I like to do normally, I like to set it like that, and then put the screwdriver on either side like this. Now, because I've unscrewed it before, it's easier to unscrew now, but the first time you do it, because these screws are Loctite, it's a little difficult. So you have to use quite a bit of force, but because I have already done this, okay, and that's your hinge screw. And for the first time, you might have to tap the other half of the hinge screw out. This is what it looks like. Now, if you remember, I said that the lower looks like a FN FAL. Well, this is the hinge screw for the FN FAL. Quite similar. Matter of fact, the shaft is both 8mm. Obviously, that's not by coincidence. Okay, so you just pull them apart like this. Okay, why don't we start from the back and remove the zhukov stock. And to do that, at the hinge part, there is a C. This is what the C clip looks like. Okay, that goes in here. It holds this pin in from coming up. So you remove that first, and then you get a punch, and then a mallet, and then you punch it out. Okay, and this is what the zhukov stock pin looks like. Now at this point you have to be very careful because there's a couple of there's one spring and might push these two plastic here, I'll actually remove it and then make sure you hold it when you separate them. There it is. And these are the pieces. You can see that right there. And here I'm going to push the other one out on the other side. These are your folding, retaining spring and clips. Okay, that's what it looks like right there. Okay. That's how you remove the zhukov stock. Put that over there. Okay, now this adapter, you cannot remove this without actually going and removing the selector. So therefore, like I said, I'm going to do the video for that later. So what I'm going to do is not remove the adapter, the stock adapter, but I will remove the grip. And to remove the grip, you need a Allen wrench this long, and you remove this from the grip. It's supposed to be holding your cleaning kit, but there's no cleaning kit. And you put this in like this and start turning. Okay. So this is what the grip screw looks like. This is what the grips looks like. Okay, I'll put that over here. Like I said, you cannot remove this stock adapter or the rear trunnion without removing the selector. And that I'll leave for another time. And the reason why is this rear trunnion is also part of the grip screw here. This is all one piece. That and also this screw also screws into this rear trunnion. So this rear trunnion is like a whole piece inside and all the way out here too. So therefore this is as far as you go in terms of stripping the lower. Now the next step you do is remove the upper, okay, the upper rail, and to do that you need a smaller Allen wrench, and you have to unscrew this set screw right here. Okay, you don't have to remove it all the way out, just enough for it to slide forward like that. Okay. Aluminum, you can hear it. Okay, this part, what you see right here, is what the mag catches onto, like this, like that. That's what that piece is for. Okay, and here is your barrel, your gas block, your barrel block right here with the rails. This is all made out of steel. This is what the chamber looks like. And I noticed the ramp is flat, not like the AR 2-groove style. Okay. Oh, there's one more thing I want to point out is that this hole on the left side on the rear trunnion or the stock adapter is supposed to fit one of these QD swivel, but it doesn't. It doesn't even go in. So it just won't go in. So I don't know. Don't know whether if I should drill that out. But just letting you know that the QD swivel will not fit on this hole. Oh, I forgot to show you how to remove the spring from the piston, and that's very simple. Pull the piston spring backwards, and then you'll find a pin that went across the piston, and you just tap it with a hammer, and then use a plier to pull the rest of the pin out, like this. And it should come out. That pin comes out, and then the whole spring is separated from the piston. And that what goes at the end, like this. Okay. Here, let me clean it while I have a chance. And then this is it's a sleeve in there somehow. It goes in. Sleeves goes in this way, like that. Then comes the piston spring. Okay. And you put this piston spring, put pressure on it. Then this goes on top, and then the pin goes across. Doesn't matter which way you put it, as long as you put it. Oop, I lost a pin. And it's a little tricky. Yeah, there it is. You tap that in with a hammer. Okay, I'm going to finish tapping it later, but you get the idea. Okay, I'm back. I usually don't reassemble, and the reason why is because they're just basically the reverse. But I will reassemble partially for this one. Okay, why don't we start with putting the stock back, and you need those two clips here. And the screw, not the screw, the spring in between. Put them in like that. Okay. And let me see. Yep. And this is, you slide them in. And this is the way you put them in. Slide it in like that. And then put this in like this. Now press the two plastic locks together and slide it into the rear trunnion, and yep, it's in there like that. And now what I'm going to do is try to put a center punch through that hole so it would line it up like that. Okay. And then I'm going to reach for the pin, and I'm going to insert it. Make sure I don't move anything. Okay, it's not going in, so I'll do it again. So I'm going to slide it in. Yep, it's moving in now. Okay. I'm going to tap it in. Okay, I'm gonna tap this all the way in later, and don't forget there's a C-clip that goes on the bottom of that, which I will also do later. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna lock it in and test it out. Looks good. Okay, like I said, I'm going to reassemble without the upper because I want to show you what it looks like. Let me reassemble the lower with the I'm going to use this. And I'm going to put this in. Yep, like that. Just screw this in. Get a screwdriver. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I want to show you what this looks like without the rails on. So I'm just going to put this in here and slide it in without the rails. Okay. And this is how you put it in. These rails, that guides the bolt and the carrier, like that. Like that, and it goes down. Locks in place. Okay. Now I want to also show you without the gas tube in place. This is what it looks like. Now when you put this gas piston in, make sure the notch is facing down. This notch right here. So it should be coming out right about here. Like that. It should be facing down, that notch. Okay, and the reason why you need to face it down is because the bolt carrier goes over it, and you need to lock it in place, like that. Okay, I'm in. So now I'm in. I need to lock that by turning it up. The pin, push in and turn up. And you can see when I pull that, that clip is now secure. There's no way that'll come out if it was installed properly. So I wanted to show you what it looks like without the rail in place here, without this rail. And here, this is how it works. See the spring recoiling? And that's the hammer. Watch the hammer. There. The round goes off. The gas comes down the system, pushes this piston backwards, and comes back, ejects around, and goes forward. If the BHO works, okay, let's try that. Yes, you can actually see the bolt getting hung up on the follower right there. Not by much, maybe 1/16 of an inch, but it is. It did work. The follower. So this is what it looks like. And I also, most people who's firing the M10X says that has a pretty light recoil, and another reason is why is that there's a buffer in the rear, right here. It's a pretty hunk of rubber here, and you can see the side of the rubber is there, side of the rubber there, and that's where the carrier hits the back of the rubber buffer. So that's basically it. Thank you very much for joining me, and please subscribe.